Good morning and welcome back. Look at that bank account. Knocking that job out yesterday really did us some favors, and now we're into January. The seasons will start changing a little bit. I'm not sure if we'll get a lot of snow in January. We might. Snow and ice in January in Indiana is not uncommon. Today, the big question is, what do we do with our time? We've got so much money in the bank. We could spend it on some things. Let's check our lettuce here. We're getting very close to having a pallet of lettuce to sell, which will be great. Probably another couple of days and we'll be able to harvest and sell that. I do think there might be a market in this town for some firewood. So we could try putting a little firewood stand out here and see if there are any takers. We also could get rid of these bushes now that we have the mower for our tractor, but the possibilities are really endless. First, let's check our sale flyer from the store and see if there's anything useful on sale that we can spend our newfound money on. Definitely some interesting stuff here. This is a cultivator, but all that equipment is not really helpful because we're not actually farming anything yet. I don't think we have enough room on this plot of land to even put a crop in the ground in a way that makes sense, but we could go land shopping and see kind of what's around. Let's get these ramps out of here real quick. We do not need those anymore unless we need to put something in the back of the truck. But we'll come get them if we need them. There's one, and here's number two. So the question is, if we get another piece of land, would that help us? Now, if it's loggable, yes, because then we can spend time clearing that land and then use the money from the logs on that land to purchase the equipment we need to plant. And I do think we're getting close to being able to maybe rent a piece of equipment for a day, especially something like a combine that's going to cost way more than we'll ever have. Let's just take a little drive this morning and see if we can spot any interesting pieces of land that we might want to inquire about with our newfound wealth. Nothing like hitting a dead end on a country road, right? I had to turn around and head back this way. We'll see if there's a little side road here that we can cut off on. No, that's technically their property. I don't want to go driving in the farmer's field. It's really interesting to think that we are right now 1/5 of the way to the goal for this series. We're trying to get $100,000. Now, the most efficient way to do that may not always be the most interesting, or in fact, the most realistic. So that's something I'm definitely trying to keep in mind. I'm gonna stop in and get some gas because we're about half empty here in the truck. There goes some of that hard-earned cash, $52. That would have been a huge problem before, but now we're doing okay. So if I remember correctly, there might have been a piece of property up here that was mostly trees. There's definitely this that borders the railroad tracks. This would make a decent-sized little field, but honestly, it's probably too expensive if it's even for sale. There's the park. There's this little stretch of trees here. But again, do we want to keep doing these kind of tree trimming jobs? I don't know. In fact, having driven around, I think that it's time to head out and do some real logging. We have the equipment we need to do it. And we have a relationship with a landowner that has the trees that we need to cut down to make real money. So I think that's the move today. I think we're going to do some real logging today and see if we can build up our bank account even more. And maybe we'll upgrade our equipment when we need to, but as of right now, I think we're okay to do what I'm anticipating us having to do. So let's load up our equipment and we'll head out. And maybe some of the smaller pieces that aren't really worth a lot, we can bring back and set up a little firewood stand to have another little kind of passive income stream going. The only downside here of this arrangement with this landowner is that we do have to share the profits with them. So we give them 25% and we keep 75% of whatever we make selling the trees from their land. Not a terrible deal by any means, but definitely 25% can be a decent chunk depending on what we end up getting out of the trees. I don't think we've ever actually had this tractor out there either. So this is going to be a brand new experience with this tractor and this trailer and just this whole different setup. And I think it's going to work really, really well for us. Now we've maintained contact with this owner. I did tell them we were busy with a big job, but we would be back as soon as we could, and they have kept the invite open, which is fantastic. Oh, that was close. So we have a good relationship with them, and they said they've marked some more trees for us to take out. So we just need to tuck out here into the woods and get started, really. Let's see if we can avoid running into anything as I immediately run into something. Perfect. We just got to go through these bushes. There we go. And let's scope out which ones they've marked. Looks like this one is dead, so they're going to want us to take that down. Just drop that there to remind us which one. Another one we're going to have to limb, which is mildly annoying, but that's okay. Let's see. Did they mark this one? Yeah, this one's marked, so this one's going to go. I'm just going to go ahead and drop it. Make sure I'm dropping it well away from my truck and tractor. Oh, which way is that going to go? Oh, well, okay. First things first, I'm going to move my truck out of the way over here, and then we're going to deal with this this death trap right here. Not great. Let's go ahead and drop this one as well. Hopefully it works a little bit better. Yeah, that looks better, but man, it's really prickly. The nice thing out here is we don't have to clean up every little bit of wood that we get, so we can actually leave some of those limbs on the ground. Gonna fall. Oh, there it goes. I'm glad I moved the truck. Perfect. So there's 1, 2. They said there were several out here. This one right here. Just drop it back over here. Not sure how many we'll be able to get done today, but we'll give it a good shot. There we go. And it's gonna roll. There we go. It stopped. So I think we'll stop with just cutting these 3 down because I don't want to leave a mess if we don't happen to get all the way through. So we'll start with these 2 big boys here, get them cleaned up. And we're going to be able to work with much longer, straighter pieces of wood here than we're used to. So we'll have to adapt a little bit. The problem is this is in kind of an awkward location for us to get to with the tractor, but we'll do our best with it. So we'll cut that length maybe. Has to fit on the trailer, right? That's the kind of the limiting factor besides weight is just what will fit on the trailer. And in the back of the truck, in fact. Some of these are likely to be a little bit too long, but we'll deal with that in a minute. First things first, let's get our tractor unloaded and make sure that we are in an okay position to kind of load these pieces of wood up. We'll have to set that mower down. We don't actually need it on this job. I really should have left it back at the property, but that's okay. We'll just pick it up later on. There we go. All right, let's head down here and try to pick up one of these bigger pieces and see how it goes. I do need to fold the trailer really quickly. And here I said I thought we were done with snow. Of course we're not. It's January. I don't know why in my mind winter is over in December. Obviously it's not. There's quite a bit of winter left in January. So we'll just deal with a little bit of snow. It's cold out here, but I've got my hat on, keeping my ears warm. We're going to see if we can wrangle a few pieces of this tree. This is becoming much, much easier the more that I do it, which, you know, practice makes perfect, right? Or actually, practice makes improvement, because nothing's really perfect, is it? No matter how hard you practice, there will always be something to learn from somebody who is better than you. And that's not a bad thing. So when we stop growing, we stop living, right? Let's go ahead and bring our sides up on this trailer just to keep anything from rolling off. That is a nice little feature of this trailer. And it looks like I cut this at a decent length. So now it's just a matter of kind of arranging them in a reasonable fashion on the trailer. There we go. That works, and it wasn't too heavy, so that's fantastic. Like I said, we do have some kind of awkward positioned logs down here. I'll have to be a little careful to get a hold of these. That tree's in the way. Maybe I can cut that out of the way. Looks like I can. There we go. Always nice having a chainsaw. We're on this hill, so things are a little squirrely, but not too bad. As long as this isn't way too heavy, we'll be all right. It is definitely trying to pull me down the hill, but let's see if our old tractor can do it. Looks like it's going just nice and slow, right? That's okay. It's a cold, snowy day in the forest. I don't mind going a little slow. I'm not sure if it's struggling power-wise or traction-wise, honestly. Gotta try to drop these intelligently so that I can fit a lot on, because we're far away from the sawmill, right? So we don't want to do a lot of back and forth. Now on this next larger piece, I think I'm going to go in from downhill. Maybe, yeah, we can probably grab it kind of lopsided because the actual stump is right there. And it's just this tractor, it's just struggling reversing uphill. So the weight is not going to help. It'd be better to drive forward up the hill. Even if we can just get one of our clamps around it, we should be able to get it at least in a better position, if not all the way up the hill and on the trailer. There we go, that went pretty well. Still struggling up this hill. This tractor is definitely not the most powerful thing in the world. And that would be a nice upgrade eventually. A bigger tractor with a little more juice. I think we're squeezing about all we can get out of this guy. If we can drop it in a reasonable location, hopefully it'll just stop right there. And it did, perfect. So we've got 2 more, maybe 3 more big segments to grab. And then a shorter, or not shorter, but thinner segment. This is really going very well. This tractor, at one point, I was going to return it because it just wasn't doing what I thought it should be doing. But turns out it was operator error. Isn't that how it usually goes? Because now we are having a great time with this tractor. It is grabbing what we need. It's actually picking up probably more than it has any right to pick up. But it's doing a great job, and I'm really, really happy with it, especially for the price that we paid. And dropped it right where I wanted. Perfect. All right, these other ones might be light enough to pick up by hand. Let's go take a look. I'm not going to waste fuel in the tractor and hours of work on the tractor if I can just grab things by hand. Yeah, this one's not too bad at all. Plus, we're getting to where, we need to stack these kind of intelligently, but looks like we're going to be able to fit a whole tree on the trailer, which is good. That's another thing, I didn't think about that, but we could totally upgrade our trailer, right? I bet there's a decent trailer available that would work a little better for what we're doing, like a logging trailer or something, and probably have or cost the right amount. I'm going to take a look at that and see what's available. We can fit a little bit more in the truck, so I'm probably going to try to get that kind of nasty tree taken care of and thrown in the back of the truck. It probably won't be worth a lot, but at least it will be something. So there's that one whole tree, and that was a big tree actually, so pretty impressive that we've gotten that. Now, I wanted to try to get this one taken care of, but I don't think that's going to work because this bigger tree is kind of in the way. So I think we'll get this chopped up and ready for transport. I don't think we can load it. I think we're a little too full on our trailer, but we can get it chopped up and ready to go, and maybe fit a few of the smaller portions of it on our trailer or in the back of the truck. Let's see, this one's light, but it's long. Let's see if it'll roll up here. We're also on a bit of a hill, so that doesn't help, but it did fit. Perfect. This is so much more enjoyable than those trees that we've been working on, with tons of limbing to do. I love these nice straight pieces of timber. Just an absolute joy to work with compared. And now we're into the pieces that are too heavy, so 4 segments left to grab. I don't know if I can get them on there. Maybe if we strap these on, maybe I can throw them on there. Let's give it a try. Why not? The Jenga game's part of the fun, right? Yeah, I think a bigger trailer would make a lot of sense if we're going to be doing this kind of logging. Really struggling. There we go. It's this slope here that's the challenge at the moment. There we go. We just have only so many horsepower to use, right? Though the more this struggles with the slope, the more I think a tractor would be nice, a bigger tractor, but they're just going to be so expensive. Unless we find a really good deal, either at that used place or at the store on sale. All possibilities, just probably not today, because the store's sales were not anything that we could use at the moment. That's going to stay, and almost, not quite. Maybe I can save it a little bit. No, it fell down. That's the worst. Oh well, we can probably get it up there. Let's just try again. It might also fit in the back of the truck, actually. There we go. Perfect. So I think we can fit one more piece. Let's try it. This is starting to look really legitimate. The way these logs are stacked on this trailer, the way we're using the tractor to grab the logs, I'm starting to feel like a lumberjack, which is exciting. Obviously, my equipment is, a little underpowered for what we're doing, but we're making do, and eventually we will have much better equipment, I think. Those back wheels are coming off. See if we can save it. There we go. We're starting to make some progress. Let's see if we can maybe just go forward and whip around. We'll use the weight to kind of push us. There we go. Much better. Oh, and we're stuck on a piece of wood. That's part of the problem. Let's get this out of the way. Can't get good traction if we have pieces of wood underneath us. So if this won't fit on the trailer, I will put it in the truck. We'll see how much we can fit in one load. Because when we're this far away from the sawmill, we need to be really efficient. We're gonna have to drop this kind of in a weird spot, I think. Try not to knock our other piece off. Let's open that up. Oh, yeah, didn't quite make it. All right, let's try putting that in the truck instead. But before we do that, I'm gonna strap this piece down. I think that's about all we can get here on the trailer. It's gonna be overloaded probably, to be honest with you. And I seem to have lost my touch here all of a sudden. But let's see if we can get this in the back of the truck. It's a little long, but if I lower the tailgate, then it should fit just fine. All right, let's try that. We should be able to drop that in there. In the sides of the truck will make it, not roll out, which would be great. Just gotta make sure we're aligned on that front part, really. There we go. Hey, that worked actually really, really great. Let's see, maybe we can get 2 of these bigger trees in one go. Get this stuff out of the way. Get out of there. Go back to the forest. Well, I tried to throw it and it didn't work. All right, just a gentle drop. And you as well, sir. You're not welcome here. Let's get out of here. All right, let's see if we can get these last 2 pieces into the back of the truck. They are going to be heavier, so there's a chance it won't work, but we'll see. Oh yeah, these are heavy pieces. I don't know if I'm going to have the traction to get up the hill. Let's see. Be careful, careful. Just barely making it. Looks like I'm stuck on something. And are we going to do it? Turn the wheel. Turn the wheel. All right, let's go forward. Let's see what happens if we go forward. Can we go? Oh no. Oh dear. This is a problem. All right. Let's see if we can just fix this. Maybe if we lower our forks. Yeah, there we go. Nice and gentle. Now let's turn around really slowly and head up the hill. Nothing to see here. Everything is fine. Not a problem at all. We're gonna we're stuck on that tree, but we're gonna make it. It's gonna be fine. This is where underpowered equipment becomes a problem, right? All right, I think we did it. We recovered from being completely sideways, which is always nice. Let's see if we can avoid crushing our truck cab and drop this right in where we want it. There we go. Beautiful. Can you go that way? Got one more piece to put in here, so I'm trying to leave room for it. This time I'm going to go at it from downhill so that we don't have to do that turn around and fall over a bit. That will be nice to avoid. And try to grab it a little bit more centered as well. I feel like having it kind of off center was what messed us up last time. Look at this load of logs. How incredible is this? This is going to be our biggest payday from just wood probably ever. I mean, we saw how long it took to make $10,000 doing a land clearing job, so it'll be interesting to see what we make from this load, especially with the logs being a little bit longer. Try to get this aligned just perfectly before we drop it out. There we go. I think that will do. Not perfect by any means, but not terrible. So we're going to leave the tractor here. We're going to head into town, and we're just going to see what we get for this load of logs. Really excited to see what this turns out to be. Make sure we strap these down really well because they're loaded up there. This is probably going to interfere, so I'm just going to snip this off here. There we go. And make sure we strap these. We did lose a log there, didn't we? But we can pick it up. Perfect. Let's just throw it in the back of the truck. And looks good. All right, let's head into town with this incredible load of logs and see what kind of profit we're going to make on this. Ooh, it is quite heavy. Everything's just kind of leaning to the side. I'm going to have to be very careful heading into town here. Any hard turns, I'm probably going sideways, and we've already been sideways once today in our tractor. I'd like to avoid any more sideways shenanigans if we can. So we're going to take it nice and slow. I'm going to guess that we're going to get close to $5,000 out of this. because that one load we did yesterday when we were finishing up our land clearing job, we got almost $2,500 for. So I don't see why we wouldn't get closer to $5,000 for this, or at least maybe between 3 and 5. That would be great. And we get to keep 75%, so that'd be a good paycheck for today. And we still have one more tree to clean up. Now there's a little bit more transport involved here, but there's also a lot less work limbing the trees, so it kind of balances out, I think. Here's our turn. Careful, careful. Yeah, our truck's about bottomed out here, isn't it? But that's okay, she's holding up for now. All right, let's see what we're gonna get out of this. Again, I'm thinking like closer to 5,000 maybe. That would just be perfect. All right, the moment of truth, let's see. $4,659. My gosh, that is an incredible amount. And that's just 2 trees, right? So that puts us at $25,000. Really, really good. Before we head back out there to finish up that tree, I'm gonna stop by the store and see what they have as far as more robust logging trailers, because I feel like that's kind of our limiting factor now. If we could fit way more in a trailer that we can still pull with this truck, then we would be able to make more money from this more remote logging location, which would be fantastic. Here we are, let's pop in and say hello to our best friends and see what they have for us. So we're looking in trailers, probably under like forestry stuff. Let's see. I mean, one of these with the actual grab on it would be interesting. What that would let us do is actually sell our tractor if we wanted to, but it's another trailer to pull. I'm also just not sure how much weight this thing can pick up. I feel like our tractor may be a little bit better at picking up logs than this is. So we're going to skip that. This one's out of price range. We don't need a mulcher at the moment. I don't think, unless we're doing like a big land clearing job, then it might be handy for knocking down all the stumps and stuff. Let's see, any more trailers? Of course, our little one that we had before, but ended up being way too small. So nothing there. So what do we have as far as other types of trailers? Let's take a look. Got the one we're using, of course. It's a great trailer. It's working perfectly. So this is a flatbed trailer for another type of truck. It won't fit on the truck we have. It's for a much bigger truck, so that's not going to work. Shovels. These also are for a bigger type of truck. I don't think they'll fit on ours. That's pretty interesting. Don't know what that's for, but interesting nonetheless. All right, so nothing there. So let's go up here to trailers. Now, I have definitely transported logs in a tipper like this before. The bale trailer config might be okay, but also the standard without cover. You can throw some logs in there and you can get longer pieces this way as well. So that is an interesting thought, but I'm a little concerned that the truck won't be able to pull it. First of all, the hitch looks all wrong, or the tongue. So I don't think that'll fit on the back of the truck. It might, but also once we loaded this up with longer pieces of wood, would we even be able to pull it with the truck? I don't know. So I think the next upgrade we really need is a bigger tractor. The problem is most of these tractors are far too expensive. They're almost at our goal, right? So if we had enough to buy this tractor, we'd pretty much have accomplished our goal. So we can't get anything this big. I guess we'll have to look out at that used lot that we found outside of town and see what they have. Hopefully they would have something that would also have a front loader, so we could have a bigger tractor with a bigger front loader that can pull a bigger trailer. But for now, I think the equipment we have is working for us, and we're just going to keep on trucking. We've got one more tree to clean up for today, and I think we're going to make a little firewood stand. How about that? Hopefully we don't run out of light, but that's my plan. We are starting to lose some light. Of course, it's in the middle of winter, so not a lot of daylight to begin with. A little bit frustrating because I really want to get this last tree done and get our firewood stand set up. But if we have to, I guess we can wait until tomorrow to do that. I just like to do it tonight. Just one of my goals. I do see the red of our tractor right through there, like a beacon. All right, let's get parked somewhere reasonable like that. And let's try to get this last tree loaded up before we lose all the light we have. Of course, this is one of those that we're going to have to limb. Not great. Trying to avoid this kind of work out here in these woods, but you can't win them all, and that's okay. You lose more by fretting over the things you lost than by just accepting it and moving on, especially when it comes to limbing trees. We're going to do as few cuts as possible with this tree and try not to get crushed, of course. That would put an early end to our mission here, wouldn't it? I'm not going to take most of these limbs. I'm just going to worry about the main trunk, and we're going to get that back to our land in as few pieces as possible, and then we'll process it there into more manageable pieces for selling as firewood. And if we set that up and we charge a little bit for a bundle of it, we should make some money. It won't be a lot, but it will be something at least. Another additional income stream, which is always nice when you're trying to diversify a little bit. So let's cut this. Where do I want to cut it? Maybe right there. I think I'll be able to pick that one up. Perfect. Throw that on the trailer. This one's not going to be a big deal. I think we'll be able to get it loaded up at least. We are going to have to transport our tractor home. Of course, the property owner really doesn't mind if we leave a few things out here since this is kind of a standing agreement. So we can leave the tractor out here today and come get it tomorrow if we want. Not a big deal. Let's see how heavy you are. In fact, since we're processing this into firewood, I might just cut it small enough to grab by hand because we're going to be cutting it smaller anyways. So it's just a matter of getting a few chunks like this and loading it up. In fact, I wonder if I could go ahead and just fit everything in the truck, and then we could take our tractor home with us and avoid an extra trip tomorrow. Though we're probably going to be coming out here and doing some more logging anyways. We'll just do that. I'll quit changing my mind eventually. All right. Let's see if we can grab this. I don't know how much I can sell firewood for. I know there's a few people around town that heat their homes with fire, and then there's a few people that come through town for a nearby campground to kind of stock up on groceries and things. So maybe I can make an agreement with the grocery store to set something up in front of their store, and maybe that would work even better than having it kind of tucked away on my little corner of the property. Let's see how heavy this one is. We're probably going to have to cut it again, and one more time probably. Maybe two more cuts. Looking pretty good, and we are going to have room for our tractor on the trailer, which is fantastic. Get that mower loaded up there as well. And here's our last piece that we want to throw in the back of the truck here. Get everything strapped in. Perfect. Now we can get our trailer unfolded and get our tractor on there. Of course, let's grab that mower, and when we get back to our property or tomorrow before we do anything, we'll drop the mower off because we're not going to need it on most jobs that we're doing. It was kind of a one-off thing. In fact, we might even sell it. I don't know. I don't think I have a front hookup here for this kind of thing. I don't. That would be nice though. It would get in the way of my log grab, but it would be nice just for transporting purposes. Let's get down here. Probably not at all good for my equipment to do this, but it helps save me a lot of time. There we go. I got it on there. Just gonna close that ever so slightly and tilt it back so it doesn't go anywhere, and then we can load up onto the trailer. There we go. Let's unfold before it tries to roll off. Perfect. And we're off. Look at this. 3 whole trees felled, cut, and sold. Well, this one's not sold yet. What's going on back there? I think we're fighting with something. I'm gonna run into something too while I'm trying to figure out what's going on back there. Let's get out of these trees, and then actually it looks like it corrected itself. Sometimes that suspension likes to get stuck. And now we have some wood to work with on our firewood sale project. We'll see how much light we have when we get back to the house, but I think we probably will not get that done tonight. My truck is not having it today. It is just so crooked, and I guess I've overloaded it with wood this time. It also kind of gets stuck like this sometimes, and I'm sure it'll work out and fix itself eventually. We just don't worry about it because it is a very used, very old truck. It's gonna have problems. We just accept the imperfections and move forward. All right, here we are, home sweet home, safe and sound. One thing I need to do before we call it a night is I need to write a check for 25% of what we made from that logging job. There we go. 1164 is their cut since they own the property, and I got to keep the rest, which came out to about $3,500. Not bad at all. The snow has stopped. We're going to light a campfire, sit back, relax, have some tea, maybe a little dinner, and then tuck into our hammock for the night. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.